You know me, you know winter is my least favorite time of year. I get cold, I get tired, I get bored. And if you too feel like there's nothing to do but sit around, well, our next guest is an Alabama native who's written the book 100 Things to Do in Huntsville and North Alabama Before You Die. So without further ado, Miss Connie Pearson joining me live now. Connie, good morning and thank you so much for being here.
I'm so glad to be here with you.
We are so very excited. Again, it's a great book that you've written. First, we understand you've had quite a time to do your research. You are an Alabama native. Tell us first what it was like just growing up here in 1950s Alabama.
Well, I tell you what, we lived in the time of roadside picnic tables, not all these fast food places that you could stop off
stuff.
Internet. And I remember going to Cream Delight in Athens, because I was in Athens, and you could get a soft serve ice cream cone for a nickel, which was great. I remember crossing the river over into Decatur when we'd go shopping, and we always stopped at Big Bob's, and Big Bob was actually there at the time in his original place, and he was a huge man, tall, big guy, sat by the cash register, so you couldn't miss Big Bob. And so both of those places, Cream Delight and Big Bob's, made it into my book,
So
of course.
crazy. I love Cream Delight. I'm going to shout out my friend Caitlin. She's an Athens native, and she took all of us there a few weeks ago to really experience it, and it's such a great place. And it's so great to hear the life experiences you've had across the state. At what point, though, did you realize you wanted to, put these experiences to paper and become a travel writer?
Well, in 2015, actually, I realized that I love to travel, I love to eat in great restaurants, I love to ask questions, and I love to write. And so travel writing became a good fit at that time. And I've done a lot of freelance writing and then had an opportunity, of course, to write my book. During the pandemic, nobody was traveling. But I knew that this area, everybody, when they did start traveling again, would go just small distances away and want to find out what's in this area. And so I pitched the book to the editors or the publishers of Reedy Press, and they do these books, 100 Things to Do. They do them all over the United States, like Miami, Atlanta, Dallas, everything like that. And I knew Huntsville was now the #1
place to live, according to USA Today World News Report.
And also our largest city in the state. And so I said, I'd like to do Huntsville, but I also want to do all of North Alabama. And they fortunately said yes. So I had a great time starting to research for this book.
So Miss Connie, what are some, you mentioned Cream Delight and Big Bob's, any other big places that you really think we should check out? Maybe especially too in this winter season. I mean, not too many people get ice cream unless you're
me.
Well,
you mentioned a while ago the cranes at Wheeler National Wildlife Refuge. That's a great thing to do. And it's free, so you can just go and watch those cranes, and sometimes there'll be a bright white whooping crane right in the middle of all those gray ones, and it's really a nice thing. Also, the Carnegie Carnival is coming up.
Yes.
If you follow Mardi Gras at all, they have a huge parade, and it's going to be on February the 18th, so you can start anticipating that. It's also free, so that's a good thing to do. But most of the things that I have in the book that I enjoyed the most were when I took my grandchildren to those particular places.
Getting to see the experience through their eyes, I imagine, is so rewarding. Oh, well, Connie, it's so great what you've written. And maybe too, just kind of as we wrap up here, I mean, just any overall lessons I think that you've learned about this. I think there's so much here, right? I think sometimes when we think if we want a fun experience, we've got to travel or take a vacation. I remember growing up, all my friends took cool spring breaks, and my parents said, you can go to the mall and have a good time there. We're not going anywhere. So anyways, just kind of as we wrap up again, just any kind of big takeaways that you've had in writing this book.
Well, that was a motivation because I had been traveling all around the Southeast and seeing all the things that they had to offer. And I thought, we've got those things right here in North Alabama, and we have everything from Native Americans to all kinds of history, great restaurants, wonderful chefs. So there are 60 restaurants, as you can tell, I love to eat out.
Girl, you and me both, I love it.
Mentioned in the book, and so it's just been a lot of fun to write.
All right, well, we cannot wait to get a copy. Big question now, Miss Connie, where can we get this book? I understand you've written others as well. Where can we just follow along with you in your work?
Okay, well, theregoesconnie.com is my website, and the book is on there. Plus, you can go to Harrison Brothers in downtown Huntsville, and they have the books for sale. Amazon, Barnes & Noble, but There Goes Connie is probably my best recommendation.
Main place to get it. Connie Pearson, thank you again so much. And just thank you, too, for putting this on paper. We know many people are going to use it as a great resource, so we thank you so much
for having me. I appreciate it.